New era at the LA County Board of Supervisors. This week, 41-year-old Lindsey Horvath was named to a one-year term as the board's youngest ever chair. Horvath, the former mayor of West Hollywood, was elected to the board last November, representing the 3rd District, which stretches from the San Fernando Valley to Santa Monica. And LA County Board of Supervisors Chair Lindsey Horvath joins me now in studio with more. Congratulations, Chair Horvath, and thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you.
How does this next year look with you at the helm of the Board of Supervisors?
We are really excited about the work that is ahead. I love the team that I'm on to be able to do the work. And, you know, as we got sworn in on Tuesday and took over in the chair seat, we really want to focus on bringing new and different voices into the conversation, especially the voices of young people who make up over 50% of the population of Los Angeles County. You wouldn't always know it by who's making the decisions. And so what we want to do is make sure that that new generation of leadership is right at the table with us, helping to make those policies.
What does that look like specifically?
We know that there are opportunities for commission appointments and, you know, some more formal things, but we also know that there's all kinds of town hall opportunities, community gatherings. We need to make sure that the biggest decisions that we are making in the county have young people's voices included. So we're even restructuring how we're doing some of the conversations in our board meetings, making more time to bring our directors in and hold accountable to the motions that we pass, you know, getting those policies actually implemented, and making sure that we have members of the public engaged in that conversation along the way.
So you're ushered in as chair on Tuesday, and your first order of business has to do with water.
Yes.
in LA County.
Yes.
You passed a motion. Talk to us about this, and why did you choose to focus on the future of water here in this county as it relates to storm capture and so on and so forth?
Water is essential to every component of our life, and LA County now introduced the first ever water plan to have a clean water, a resilient water future. We are very excited about the work that will come ahead. Not only did we pass the plan that's been a couple years in the making now, but we also, I authored a motion about how we need to prioritize its implementation, because as with everything, you can make a good plan, but if it doesn't have the funding, if it doesn't have the partnerships, the on-the-ground implementation, it's not going to mean anything. And so we are really laying out how we get that work done.
And what does this mean for the average resident in the county? I mean, they hear this and they think of water plan. What does it mean for them? And does this help allow for more access, even in those underprivileged communities, to have access to clean water?
Yes, we'll be convening the more than 200 agencies that have authority over water throughout Los Angeles County. We'll be making sure that those who are under-resourced have best practices, have support from the county. They're not going to be penalized for coming forward and saying they need help. We're going to make sure that you know, we've seen the cost of water increase as we need to import it. We need to make sure that more of the water that we use in our future is locally sourced. We want to recycle. There's a lot of opportunity for us to better use our water, and so we want to adopt best practices throughout the region, not just leave it up to those more than 200 agencies to make those decisions. And by bringing everyone together and sharing best practices, we'll be able to do that.
Is this going to cost county residents more money?
No, this is about bringing agencies together. So like I said, we can implement best practices, keep water costs down as we make sure that we have clean water for the future.
Okay, another one of your topics that you are at the forefront of,
yes,
to address is the homeless crisis, of course. So you're on the board of LAHSA along with the mayor, Karen Bass, and also Supervisor Barger.
Yes.
There was a new audit that just came out from the county controller's office, or the city controller's office, that basically said that LAHSA does not have a great program in place to keep track of the number of interim beds. How do you handle and get a grasp on the chaos that is the homeless crisis?
Well, this is something that I highlighted, you know, back in the spring. Our county departments came forward to us at a county board meeting and said that they wanted to put together a website tracking where all the beds are and availability of beds throughout Los Angeles County, but it was going to take them 2 years to put a website together. And at that time I was like, look, there are agencies and entities that have far fewer resources in the county that can move much faster at developing an app or a website than 2 years. So we are pushing to make sure that not only the city data, which the controller has highlighted, but all the county data is aggregated in a place where we can see in a snapshot where the services are located, where beds are available, the kind of services that come with them, because we know that it's not just about getting somebody off the street, but making sure they have mental health, addiction recovery, whatever the kind of support is they need. And we need to know where those available beds are at any given moment, so we can move people into housing faster, get them off the street, and get them into care.
Less than 15 seconds. I'm going to put you on the spot. You've been in this job for a year now.
Sure.
Biggest surprise for you, biggest challenge?
You know, getting every level of government to work together. I think people just assume that when you're elected into office, that's how it's already structured. But a lot of what we've been doing is, you know, the mayor calls it locking arms, but whether it's working on the PCH with the state and local governments and the county to bring people together, whether it's working at Metro or working on homelessness, like at the site in Chatsworth that required interagency coordination. You know, collaboration among government takes effort, and that's what we're committed to.
A lot of red tape.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we're cutting through it.
Okay, all right. Chair Lindsey Horvath, thanks so much for being with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, Alex, over to you.
All right.